my name is Ali and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto wins, Okita's route. Let's go. The dawn of the new year arrived. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready.
Oh, thank you, Yukimura.
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea. Breaks my heart, knowing him at the last route he died. My sweet boo. Well, you're not a boo, you're kind of like a dad. That's a little odd. Anyway, let's just continue.
There's nothing quite so delicious as hot tea on a cold day.
Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present. The Yagi have been good to us so far, but this place is getting crowded. True. It is getting a little small, especially with all the new guys coming in.
If we could move to a bigger place, that'd be great. Some of the guys in the dorm look stiffed.
I don't know why, but that sounds bad to me. Anyway, yeah. The guys over at Meikawa residence, are practically smushed sushi, the way they sleep. To be a young grunt these days, I pity them. If only there was something we could do. Easy for us to say. Man, I forget how much I make them sound alike, and now it's like, crap. Easy for us to say, but imagine trying to find who else is willing to let us stay at their place. I mean, we are Kyoto's most hated. A person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map spread upon the table. Oh, it's this guy. I don't like you. What of this? Nishi Hongwanji Temple, Oh, I swear they could be brothers because of how annoying they are. The Nishi-Hanwanji Temple, I can't see any reason for them to accept us. But there are no other locations big enough to accommodate a living space for a few hundred men. And besides, the tactical advantage of this temple would allow us to fortify in times of panic. This man was named Kashitaro Ito, recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. He developed his notoriety teaching Hakushin Ito in his dojo, and he is known for his scholarships. Additionally, it is well known that the Nishi used to shelter the Choshu Ronin. If we move to the Nishi Hanwanji Temple, it would be an whatever. Hiding spot for the Ronin, from the Ronin.
Oh, I see. Very good points. I can't believe you put this much detail into it.
No, that's fishy, how he knows all this stuff. Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose. You don't think it's somewhat uncouth to use force against men of the cloth? Ito's brow twitched, as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sanan directly. Would you say that the Choshu Ronin who inhabited the temple and did as they pleased? But aren't you nice? Oh my god, I can never read with his voice. But aren't you nice, Sanan? You're even considering the feelings of outlaw Ronin who'd actively disrupt the peace of Kyoto. Ito's deflection of Sanan's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sanan. I agree that this extremist imperial nationalist party must be dealt with, but this seems... I forgot what I did with his voice. So what are y'all saying? What are you saying? When we meet in battle, do you expect them to respect the Shinsengumi on name alone, or to engage in a fight fair and square? Wouldn't it be just peachy if all those Choshu Ronin were on their best behavior like a Kamakura warrior? Saburo, watch your mouth now, darling. My mistake. Couldn't help myself. The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood. My God. Having issues with today. My apologies, everyone. This young one here has a tendency to let his mouth run free, you see. So, Sanan, don't take it too personally. I'm sure we need a person like you to make the Shinsengumi succeed. Even if your left arm is useless, your indubitable wit and book smarts shall prove useful, I'm sure. I watched as Sanan bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was cut by another voice. Perhaps I didn't hear you correctly, Ito. Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across the whetstone. Ito seemed taken aback, and his eyes grew wide. Sanon's smart, like you said. But, above all, he's a swordsman of the Shinsengumi. He is not useless, and he is not replaceable. Get it through your head. Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. However, but my arm is... He couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sanan of what he used to be, causing Sanan to curl his lip into a frown. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause such a fuss. Next time, I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Sanan is quite the beloved member here, isn't he? It's nice to see such a tight-knit group. It's just that, as I'm sure you've thought about it, I hope the new members share that sentiment. Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger toward Ito. Ito's just an asshole. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
Well, for now, let's keep business strictly in terms of finding a new headquarters location. Ito, would you mind coming with me? I would love to continue our earlier discussion about a new base.
Sure, I'd love to. Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them. He's like teacher's pet with Ito. Chief Kondo, may I join as well?
Of course. I want you to hear with Ito what Ito has to offer and broaden your views, and I've got to hiccup. Nailed it. Okay. Even the captains of the Shinsengumi must push themselves to learn more than fighting. It is our responsibility to grow and gain knowledge to expand our horizons.
Yes, sir. Kondo left the common room with Ito, and Miki, however, who still sat before us. Humph. He smirked coldly towards us, and he slinked off to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible. Ugh, who brought those bastards in the Shinsengumi?
The culprit is still in Edo. Damn it, Heisuke. When he gets back, I'm going to give him a few punches.
Ito is with the Imperial Nationalist Party, aye? Surprising to see people with the same beliefs as those Choshu bastards joining the Shinsengumi. Well, nationalists think themselves to be above the Choshu for whatever it's worth. I mean, the Imperial Nationalist Party is... Well, just listen to the bullshit he was going on about the other day. It seems as though he has rubbed off on Kondo as well, which is a poor influence in my opinion. Well, Kondo is a kind person. He is easily deceived by silver tongues, those who appear virtuous, but are real scumbags. So Ito is our deputy commander, and his little brother is the captain of the 9th Division, huh? That is gonna be a real bitch. Harada's so cool. Eventually, Hijikata approached Sanan, who'd weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame. Sanan, Don't listen to that asshole, okay? Sanan laughed dryly and shook his head. That sounded weird. That was a bad laugh. I'm sorry.
Well, he is well educated and a skilled orator. Not only that, he's good with the sword. With such a gifted deputy commander, I suppose the Shinsengumi has little need for a colonel.
Hey, Sanan! Oh, it breaks my heart. Sanan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall. Man, I feel bad for him. Even the men are avoiding him these days. What? But why?
Well, can't blame him. No matter what you say to him, he takes it the wrong way. And no matter what you say, he acts like such a smug smartass, so the warriors are intimidated and want nothing to do with him.
Oh no, poor Sanan. That's what I said. Even though I haven't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sanan was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury. Hey, Hijikata, can't you come up with some bullshit excuse to kick Ito out? Ever since they arrived, it's been nothing but bad vibes and sour moods. You know damn well I cannot do that. I mean, look at the way Kondo fawns over Ito. Besides, he brought a large force of men behind him when he joined. You think they won't make a stink if he were to just disappear? Well, damn. Aren't you supposed to be the demon, the commander from hell? You're supposed to make the impossible happen. Fine, Soji. How about we make you commander? Then you can kick Ito and his guys out, right? Ha! Hell no. That's way too much trouble. The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seemed no one spoke in his defense. Only one, during all of this, quietly sipped his tea. Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea in his cup. So what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is. As an organization grows, it will expand to include people who have differing ideas and points of view. Ah, so then, however, if one attempts to force this sort of diversity, then the organization will begin to rot from within. I always like how Saito thinks. It's like, he's always so smart. His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considered of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster. The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring'll take a while. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sanan in his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately, the lack of it, was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would be for Sanan's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered. Oh, jeez, bright. If push comes to shove, he'll have to take it. I don't think Sanan's just going to give up.
Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies.
Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. But... And I was not to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. We're going to investigate this time. I'm going to muster the courage to look into this. But where should I investigate? My room is in the Yagi house. There are some rooms that I'm not allowed to enter, but the captains live here as well, and I'd finally learned how to navigate the building. However, There was another building that was part of the headquarters of the Shinsengumi aside from the Yagi house. Some of the leaders, along with other warriors, live in the Meikawa house, diagonal from Yagi. And Sanan, who's injured, has been holed up in the Nambu residence, located behind Yagi. Since it's a residence, one cannot just stroll there casually, and since it is barely used by anyone other than Sanan, it is a little isolated. If there are secrets being kept from me, then they have to be kept in a place I'd never think to check. If I were to look into it, it would either be either be in the blank. That's weird. Or the forbidden areas, the Yagi residence. Yeah, it's missing something. Which one should I look? So it's supposed to be the Nambu. I think it's supposed to be like in there. So we are going to investigate the Nambu house. I can't say that. Once I was quite sure everyone in the Yagi house was asleep, I made my move. So far, so good. Luckily, I was able to get to the entrance without anything happening, and I sighed with relief. What's so good so far? The surprise of seeing someone froze me. Aren't you a little bold one, huh? Trying to run away behind our backs? Okita. Well, I'm not. You sure about that? You are literally in front of me, sneaking around at night. How can I not assume you're escaping? Look, it's not like that. How was I supposed to explain to him? The more I panicked, the more I choked up. I'm just messing with you. I mean, unless you were escaping, then I'll slit your throat. I mean, how the hell could you possibly survive all by yourself out there anyway? You're right. He was right. Even if I somehow managed to escape the Shinsengumi, I would lose my best chance to finding my father. Well, whatever you're doing, knock it off. Kids shouldn't play around in the middle of the night. You don't want to get yourself killed because of something you didn't do right. Right? That was a question. Yeah. Maybe Okita was right. That it was reckless of me to investigate the serum. And thoughts swirled in my head before Okita spoke up again. Okiti. That's not the first time I've said that. Okiti. Well, if you see something scary, just make sure you scream right away, alright? Don't try to deal with it yourself, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Huh? He'd sounded rather serious for a moment. What do you mean by something scary? What could I run into in the Shinsengumi's headquarters that could be as scary as he thinks? He looked almost surprised for a moment, his face breaking into a wry grin. Oh, you know, like a nightmare or a ghost or something. Or hey, who knows? You might run into our commander, the demon. That does sound scary. If Hijikata found out that I was walking around the compound without permission, I'm going to go back to my room now. Good girl. It's wisest to go to sleep. I'll just go finish patrolling the inner courtyard then. Oh my god. His voice is so mean on my throat. Okita started to hum as he walked away. I didn't expect to be found, especially by Okita of all people. There was no way I could sneak into the Nambu house. See, now it says Nambu. Before it's a Nambu. That's not the first time I've seen it like that, so I don't know. Behind his back. Maybe I could investigate the Yagi house before going back to my room. Wait. I was so surprised I hadn't stopped to think. Why was Okita up so late? It was as if he expected someone to leave the Yagi house, but there's no way he could have known I would try. If not me, then who? Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go here because Okita's voice is really mean on my throat. So I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you next one. Bye!